All right, 7F, summarizing the data. First, we're going to, the goals say mean, median, and mode with data, but that's actually for 7E because 7F is with group data. So 7E, this is just a review of what you should already know, okay? The mean is the average. So if we were to take 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 and add those up, okay, if we were to add them up, we would get 19. And then to take the average, you divide it by the number of numbers. Well, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 numbers, so we call that n equals 7. And our average would be approximately 2.71. Okay. You should have already known that. We also have the mode. That is the number that occurs the most, and in this case, we have two modes. We have 2 1s and 2 3s, so you can have more than one mode. And then finally, we have the median, which is the number right in the middle. So I do that by going in the middle if they're in order. So in this case, my median is 3. Okay. So that's pretty easy to do with regular data, and we will practice that next time with some more examples and do box plots, etc. However, it's a little trickier if the data is grouped. So here's the ungrouped, and let's look at a joke first. It says, "Mr. Stingy, I have heard that you pay your employees very poorly." And he says, "That is an evil lie. The average salary in my company is $91,000 per year." "Okay, Mr. Stingy, but that's not bad for a mean salary, but was the median salary in your company?" "The median salary is $80,000 a year." "Your accusations are unreasonable." "Sounds good, Mr. Stingy, but the mode, Mr. Stingy, what is the mode?" Okay, so this is a joke. The mode is 20,000. Okay. But because he pays himself so much and his wife so much, that it skews the average to make it seem really high, to 91,000 a year. And then because the accountant and the secretary, I mean, at least they make 80,000, they're right in the middle, even the median is kind of high. But they could have a bunch of other people under here where it would still have high values. Okay, so you have to be very careful. The mean is easily skewed by outliers at top. The median less so. So if they had had more employees under here, okay, the average would still be pretty high because he makes so much, but the median would actually probably catch the 20,000. But so the median is less easy to skew, but the mode is also a very good value of something like that. Okay, but now let's look at it for group data. Now we have all these formulas. I should show you the formula for mean first. For the mean, if we wanted to see mean, x bar, that means mean, is the sum of all of the values. So it means what we did here, add up all these values and divide it by the number of values. Okay? So that is kind of the formula for mean in math notation. Now they're going to use a freaky one down here, and we'll explain what that means. Okay, so here's the deal. It says, to find the mean, we multiply each score by its frequency, find the sum, and then use the formula. So here's the formula for group data, and let me just show you what it means. It actually makes a lot of sense. So here's the deal. We have a distribution obtained by counting the contents of 25 match boxes. Okay, so a machine is probably supposed to put 50 matches in a box. However, it's probably off a little bit when they just dump them in, so it might be anywhere from 47 to 53. So they went ahead and counted up a few boxes of matches. Okay, it's actually, if you were to add up all the frequencies, they grabbed 25 match boxes and counted up how many matches were in each box. So 2 boxes had 47 matches. That's how you read this. And so on. It says find the mean, mode, and median number of matches per box. So they've gone ahead and made a frequency table. And they're telling us that in order to do this, we should multiply the frequencies by the number of matches. Well, let's think about it. How many matches were there in 2 boxes? Well, 47 times 2, there were 94 matches. Okay? How many matches are there if you have 48 matches in 4 boxes? That's 192. Or if you had 49 matches in 7 boxes, that's 343. And they're doing that because in order to find an average, remember you add up all the numbers, well, we needed to add up all the matches total. So if we just add up 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, and 53, that's only for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boxes of matches, but we had 25. So we could do, we had 47 plus 47 plus 48 plus 48 plus 48 plus 48. I'm getting that here. We had 2 boxes with 47, 4 boxes with 48. We could add all those up. Or easier, use our rules of multiplication to multiply them and find out the sum of the matches, or total, okay, which is given by the frequency times the number of matches, is 1,235 matches. Okay, and so that's what they're asking you to do here. And then notice that this formula says, okay, do that on top, and then it said divide by the total frequency. Well, divide by the total number of boxes we looked at, which was 25 boxes. Okay, and you could get that from saying that there were 2 boxes here. Okay, and then 2 plus 4, there were 6 boxes here, plus another 7, there were 13. Add them all up, and we had 25 total boxes. If you do that, you should get a mean of about 49.4 matches per box. So all this table does, and this little shortcut formula, is instead of having to add up every single thing separately and then divide by 50, you can use a shortcut and only have to add up this many numbers. Okay, so instead of having to add up 50 numbers, we could add up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Makes your life a little easier. Now, I want to point something out. Okay, this arrow right here means that there are 6 boxes with 47 or 48 matches. Okay. Specifically, 2 with 47 and 4 with 48. Okay. All right, this is the last section. So we just did that with discrete data, because notice matches, we were just counting them. We could also do the same thing with continuous data. When info is gathered in classes, we use the midpoint, this is the key thing, I can't make that, of the class to represent all the scores. Okay, the midpoint is the average of the endpoint. So basically we add them up and divide by 2. So if you had endpoint, we'd add and divide by 2. Okay, we have to assume the scores in the classes are evenly distributed, therefore the mean should be a good approximation of the true values. We'll talk about that in class. Okay, the mode, called the modal class, is the class which, I should say which, not with, occurs the most. Okay, so we're going to find the mean and median, or sorry, the mean and mode of this data. So what they've done again is they have gone ahead and grouped the matches. I noticed they did that weird 0.99 stuff. Okay, fine, but usually it's 0 to 50, not including 50, so 50 doesn't really count here. 50 to 100, 100 doesn't really count. And they've grouped them. We have 12 matches less than 50. Okay? Or 12 match boxes that have less than 50 matches. So we want to find the midpoint. So the midpoint is just halfway between 0 and 50. Okay? So like I said, you just, if you didn't know that that was 25, you would just add them up. and divide by 2 and find out the midpoint is 25, which would make this 75 and this one 25. Excuse me. And then, excuse me, let me put that back. 25, 75, 125. All we know is that there are 12 matches between 0 up to but not including 50. We don't know all of their sizes. I mean, we do because we have the raw data over here. But if we didn't have the raw data, we wouldn't know how many of those had 47 matches, how many had 48 matches, how many had 49. So we just assume that they all had 25 matches a box. And I shouldn't have said matches because remember we're doing continuous data. So maybe this is something, let's make up a story problem for it. This is, I don't know, time spent studying a month. Okay, time spent studying a month. And it could be 0 to 50 minutes. Okay, 50 to 100 minutes, 100 to 150 minutes, I don't know. Something more continuous, I shouldn't be using the matches anymore. So then we're just saying, well, we need to know how many study times that fall in here. So we're going to assume, or how many minutes, that everybody studied 25 minutes between 0 and 50, because we don't know. Maybe we had 6 people that studied 5 minutes and 6 people that studied 40 minutes, but we don't know. So we're going to assume everybody studied 25 minutes, multiply those together, and we get 300 minutes of studying here. Okay, 20 times 75, we'd get 1,500 minutes of studying here, 3,000 minutes of studying here, and if you added them all up, we'd get 14,300 minutes of studying. Okay, so then the mean is the total minutes of studying, and again I just made up the story problem because I don't know, they didn't give me one, divided by the number of students they were looking at studying, which gives us an approximate value of 140 minutes a month, which I think is super low if you're an IB student. I think you guys do that probably every 2 weeks or more or less. Okay, and that's my approximation symbol. IB uses this. Okay, either one means approximately. All right, and then finally the mode. Which group had the most? This group had the most. So 24 out of 100 students studied between 100 up to but not including 150 hours. So the mode is 100 up to but not including 150. Okay, guys. Last little bit. The median can be determined 2 ways. Drawing a cumulative frequency graph and finding the 50th percentile, or by examining the table and finding the median in which the middle lies, or the class in which the median lies. And they have these crazy formulas right here. And actually, after looking at this, I think this is probably a great place to stop. We will answer questions in class and go from there.